Hello students. Till now you have studied addition of vectors, scalar multiplication of vectors. What do you mean by scalar multiplication of vectors? It means that you will multiply one vector with the scalar quantity. If you multiply one vector with the scalar quantity, what will happen? That scalar quantity can be multiplied to the magnitude of a vector. That is scalar multiplication of vector. What is scalar multiplication of vector? When you multiply a scalar quantity to a vector quantity. This part also you have studied. Now we are going to study about product of two vectors. Correct now? Product of two vectors. So here also same manner I will give you an example. Suppose mass of one scalar quantity I will take one scalar quantity. What is that? Let's say m1 is 4 kg. What is that? This is a scalar quantity. Let us say m2 is 5 kg. Correct now? Now you can understand m1 into m2 if I make, generally you will tell it very easily. How much it is? 4 into 5. How much? 20. 4 5 are 20. So 20 kg sir, answer that. This is the answer you will tell. Yes or no? Answer how much you will tell? 20 kg sir. Or kg square it will happen because 2 units are there. Anyhow, if you multiply, correct now? This will become kg square. Let's say m into m units also has to be multiplied. Now what I am trying to tell you is, when you are multiplying scalar quantity, it was very easy for you to multiply. You will never worry about the direction to multiply two quantities. Now let's come to vector. Let's say, suppose I was telling what I was trying to tell you. Let me take one vector f1, 4 Newton. Correct now? Think that this is making an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal line. Okay? Now I am taking f2, another force which is having 5 Newton. See the direction of this, what is that? F1 force is making angle 30 degree to the horizontal line. F2 force vector is along the horizontal line having 5 Newton. Now if I do F1 into F2, here both are vector now. Correct now? Both are vector. If I do F1 into F2, 4 into 5, it is not 20 Newton square. It is not 20 Newton square because the direction of the force is in this direction. The direction of this force is in this direction. When I am multiplying vectors, you cannot multiply like that. Are you understanding? You cannot multiply like that. Then how to multiply, sir? How to multiply, sir? If you ask me a question, I will give you an answer now. What is that answer? So we have made in physics, many rules are there. In that, many rules are there in vectors, but in that two standard rules we are going to study. One is dot product rule. Second one is we call cross product rule. Correct now? Using this rule we are going to multiply two vectors now. What are those rules? Dot product rule and cross product. One by one we will study very deeply now. Correct? What is this rule says? Correct? So first let us take dot product. Listen carefully because we have to understand the difference between the dot product rule and cross product. Let us take a heading dot product. Dot product rule, what it says, let's take one vector A. What is that? Let's take another vector B. Are you understanding? I am taking one vector A, another vector B. Imagine that the angle between them is theta. I am joining their tails. If I want to make the product of these two vectors, if I am multiplying these two vectors, first rule is dot product. You can learn first cross product also, no problem. First we are learning dot product. What this dot product rule says? What it says means, if I multiply these two vectors in terms of dot rule, that is A dot B. A dot B is the dot product of this rule, will be equal to magnitude of vector A into magnitude of vector B. What is that? Into cos theta, where theta is the smallest angle between two vectors when their tail or heads are joined. When their tail or heads are joined. So this is the formula for dot product. What exactly it is means, this will be A dot B will be equal to AB cos theta. Are you understanding? A dot B is AB cos theta. The magnitude of the dot product is equal to the product of their magnitudes and the cosine of the angle between the two vectors. What is the dot product rule? It is the magnitude of their vectors into cosine angle between them. Correct? This is a textbook definition. This is a textbook definition. First I will explain what do you mean by that. What do you mean by that? Correct? See here. One thing you see, if I resolve this A dot B, I am going to rub this now. Correct? I am going to rub this now. See here. Two conditions I will take upon that. This is the formula now. You have to remember. How this formula has come, let me show you. See here. This was B I have taken. This is A I have taken. Correct? Theta. This is what I have taken. So, AB cos theta, or I can write A cos theta into B. Correct? Now see here. I will resolve this vector. Which vector? B vector into two components. One is along A, one is perpendicular to A. I am resolving B into two components. One is along A vector and one is along B. Resolution of vectors. Correct? If I resolve this, what is this line? This will be B sin theta. What is this vector? This will be B cos. Correct? The component of vector B having the direction of vector A is how much? B cos theta. The component of vector B which is parallel to, which is along the vector A, is B cos theta. Here A dot B is nothing but magnitude of A into B cos theta. If I take two vectors, what are the vectors I multiplied? I multiplied vector magnitude of vector A and the component of the vector B which is parallel to A. The component of the vector B which is parallel to A. Correct? I multiplied the component of vector B which is parallel to A. This is very important to understand. So A dot B here will become what? AB cos. What is that? Now imagine the same condition I will take. What is that? The same condition again I am going to take. This is imagine this is vector A. Same angle between them is how much? This is vector B. What is the angle between them is theta. Now A into B cos theta. I have taken the component of B cos theta, right? Now I will resolve this vector A into two components. I will resolve this vector A into two components. One is like this, another one is like this. Correct? So, if I resolve this, the angle, see I am resolving the vector A into two components. One is perpendicular to this vector B, another one is parallel to this vector B. Got it? Another one is parallel to this vector B. Now this is vector A, means what will be this component of A? I am resolving vector A. Try to understand. I am resolving vector A. This component will be A cos theta. What is this component? This will be A sin theta. Are you understanding what I am doing? Correct? This component is, this is vector A. Exactly what is vector A? This is vector A. I resolved this into two components like this and that. This is A sin theta. This is A cos theta. Correct? No? Here if you want to write A dot B, A dot B will be again what? A dot B. Look at it. A dot B will be multiplication of A cos theta into B. So A cos theta into B is nothing but again A dot B. AB cos theta 1B. Correct? No? So what I am trying to tell, in this case you have multiplied two vectors. One vector or magnitude of two vectors. You have multiplied the magnitude of two vectors. Here I have written here. One magnitude is magnitude of B is like this. Another magnitude is the magnitude of vector component of A. The magnitude of component of vector A which is parallel to vector B. This will be A cos theta. See here. Observe this. Why I removed arrow mark means I wanted to show only magnitude. Correct? No? What here in these two cases, when you are multiplying a dot product rule, what you are multiplying? You can understand that you are multiplying two parallel vectors always. Correct? No? So when you multiply two parallel vectors, whatever the angle may be, it doesn't matter. If I am applying dot product to that, I will just make sure that I am going to multiply two parallel vectors. Are you understanding this? This is the point I want you guys to remember. Correct? What is that? When you are doing a dot product, you will take one of the component of the vector which is parallel to other one and you are going to multiply. When you multiply, when you are going to multiply like that, what happens? It looks like a scalar product. That is why we call scalar. This one we call it as scalar. Why we call it as a scalar product? Why we call it as a scalar product? Because see, scalar quantity means when I am multiplying scalar quantity, I am assuming that they don't have direction. Or I am assuming that all of them are there in a single direction. Correct now? First I think I am assuming that they don't have direction, so I am just multiplying their values in scalar quantity. Or else I am thinking that all of the scalar quantities are in a single direction, that is why I can multiply. Here also same thing. In this product rule, whatever the angle may be. Correct now? Whatever the angle may be, what you are taking the component of one of the component of vector which is parallel to another vector. Correct? No? Which is parallel to another vector. You will take that component and you are going to multiply it. Are you understanding this? Here what I did, I took the component of B along A. One is A, one is B, cos theta I multiplied. Here I took the component of A along B. This is B, this is A cos theta. So, when I am multiplying the quantities which are in same direction, so I call it as a scalar product, and whatever the product you make, A dot B, whatever the answer you will get, that will be also in a scalar quantity. That will be also in a scalar quantity. That is why we call scalar product. So, two key points I am going to give on this. What is that? Correct now? Here, two key points for you to understand this rule. What are the things I am going to give? I am going to have this. Two key points, not for exam purpose, for your understanding purpose. These are not for exam. Here, product dot product gives what quantity? After making the product of two vectors, the answer you are going to get is scalar. Are you understanding this? Product of two vectors is scalar quantity. This is one point. Correct? This is one point. Product of two vectors is scalar quantity, or dot product of, better to write. That is why we call it as a scalar product. If you are doing dot product of two vectors, the answer will be always in scalar quantity. Two products, if you make dot product, that answer will be in scalar quantity. Why it is scalar quantity? I have shown you. Always you are multiplying the vectors which are parallel to each other. So there is no requirement of direction. Correct? So this is one point. What you are multiplying here? Here I can say it is the product of two parallel vectors. These are the two key points I can give from this. So when I say dot product rule, you are multiplying the product of two parallel vectors. Correct now? Another thing is dot product of two vectors is scalar quantity. These two things you have to remember. If you make dot product, the answer what you are getting, this complete value will be scalar quantity. This is scalar quantity. That is what I mean. It is the product of two parallel vectors. Anti-parallel also possible, we will see. If I put theta is equal to 180 degree, angle between them is 180 degree. What is the answer we are going to get? Let us check on that. Got it now? So, generally parallel means anti-parallel oppositely. They are parallel in same direction, parallel in opposite direction. So when I say parallel, it means that they are in same direction and opposite direction. Doesn't matter. Correct now? But I am multiplying the vectors which are parallel. Are you understanding this? Okay. Let us learn about the properties. Some of the properties of dot product which are very important for solving arithmetic operations. Correct? We are going to study that. So first one, very important property is dot product is commit. What is that I can say? Obeys commutative law. It obeys what? Commutative law. What is that commutative law? Says is, I can write A dot B will be equal to A into B cos theta. Correct now? B dot A is nothing but B into A cos theta. Are you understanding? Such that A dot B will be equal to A dot B will be equal to B dot. Correct now? This is what first property. What is that? Dot product obeys commutative. Second one, dot product obeys distributive law. What is that? Distributive law. That means, what is that distributive law says? Is A dot B plus C. A dot B plus C. A dot B plus C is a vector resultant of B plus C. I am multiplying with dot product of A. That means whole content is scalar quantity. Correct now? So I said you that 2 points has to be remembered in this scalar quantity. You are multiplying two parallel vectors. One thing, you will make any of the component and parallel to another vector. You are multiplying. Second thing, always the dot product of two vectors will be scalar quantity. Are you understanding? So A dot B plus C can be written as A dot B plus A dot C. Are you understanding this? I can write this value as A dot B plus A dot C. Very interesting proof we have, but there is no requirement for it. Just I am writing the property. Third property. What is that? If dot product of two vectors are parallel, if the dot product of two vectors are parallel, then that value is maximum. Correct now? Dot product is maximum when vectors are parallel. These are very important properties you have to remember. When vectors are parallel. So when vectors are parallel means what is the angle between them? When I say vectors are parallel means theta is equal to 0 degree. When theta is equal to 0 degree, A dot B will be equal to how much? The dot product is maximum when vectors are parallel. A dot B will be equal to AB cos 0. Correct now? AB cos 0 means it will be just A dot B is nothing but A into B. When the two vectors are parallel, you are not taking any component of the vector. So just you will get a maximum value. This is the A dot B value is plus AB is the maximum value where you are directly multiplying two vectors. See, always remember, if I take A, this is A cos theta, this is A sin theta. If I take this angle as theta, always remember the value of A cos theta, A sin theta will be less than resultant. Why? Because these are the component of this vectors. Component. Correct now? So these values will be always less. When I am multiplying two vectors, if I multiply directly, that is the maximum value I am going to get. If I multiply them directly, that is the maximum. I am not taking any component. I am multiplying vector A and B. Why? Because imagine that both are parallel in same direction. Theta between them is 0. When I am not multiplying any component of vector to another vector, directly I am multiplying two vectors. That is the maximum value. Correct now? That is the maximum value. Next, fourth one. So this is, you must know, all these properties are very important. Correct now? What is that? Dot product of two vectors. Dot product of two. Dot product is minimum. What is that? Dot product is minimum when vectors are perpendicular. What is that? When vectors are perpendicular. I can take you an example for this. Correct? No? I can take when theta is equal to 90 degree. Is there any component of a vector to another vector? Not possible at all. Correct? No? So A dot B will be equal to AB cos 90. Cos 90 is 0. A dot B will be equal to 0. Correct? No? A dot B is equal to 0. So this is one of the property. Correct? No? Then see another property we have. What is that? Dot product of a vector to itself gives square of its magnitude. What is that? If I do the dot product of same vector A dot A, we get magnitude of A into cos 0. Angle between two same vectors is 0. So it will be how much? A dot A is equal to A square, or A is equal to root of A dot A. Are you understanding? A dot A. So next property will come. Dot product is negative if theta is greater than 90 degree. Dot product is negative if theta is greater than 90 degree. If theta is greater than 90 degree, cos value remains negative. Correct? No? For theta is equal to 180 degree, A dot B, the dot product is negative, theta is greater than 90 degree, A dot B will be equal to AB into cos of 180 degree. What is cos of 180 degree? It is negative, so this will become minus AB. Correct? The dot product is negative, that is minus AB. At certain condition it is used. Usually scalar quantity cannot be negative. Yes or no? Scalar quantity cannot be negative. This is the statement which I am giving. But in certain cases we assume that scalar quantity can be negative in certain cases. Correct now? In certain cases we are going to assume that scalar quantity is negative. So in that sense, this dot product is useful for scalar. Can you find a mass negative? You will never find a mass negative. Correct now? Like that. So scalar quantities are usually not negative because we are not defining its direction. Usually science refers to direction most of the time. For example, it refers to direction. So let us take another property. If dot product is negative, theta is greater than 90 degree, G. Let us take another property. What is that? Dot product of unit vectors. Let us do the dot product of unit vectors. Correct? I will show one example. What happens? E, F, G. Correct? Dot product of unit vectors. If I do dot product of unit vectors, what I am going to get? If I do dot product of unit vectors, what I am going to get? Correct? See here. I cap dot I cap. If I do, what is the magnitude of unit vector? 1. Correct? Because you know A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. You know this, correct? So two product, I am doing the dot product of two vectors which are having which are same. What is the same direction, which are having, and magnitude of these two vectors is 1. So 1 into 1 into cos 0. Cos 0, theta is 0, angle between those two vectors is 0. So I dot I will be equal to 1 always. Dot product of two unit vectors is 1. In the similar manner, J dot J is equal to 1 again. In the same manner, what is that? In the same manner, K dot K is equal to 1. K dot K is equal to 1. I dot I is equal to 1, J dot J is equal to 1, K dot K is equal to 1. Are you understanding? Correct, no? So, this happened. Now, what happens to I dot J? I dot J, if I do, see here. 1 into, what is the angle between J vector and I vector? Cos 90. So, I dot J is equal to 0. Yes or no? In the same manner, I dot J equal to 0, J dot K will be equal to 0, then K dot K cap dot I cap will be equal to 0. Are you understanding? Since it obeys commutative law, what is that? A dot B will be equal to B dot A. So J cap dot I cap will be equal to 0. K cap dot J cap will be equal to 0. I cap dot K cap will be equal to 0. These are very important properties. These are very important properties. This is what happens for the dot product of unit vectors. Let us take another one. What is that? This was almost all the things are finished. Dot product of two vectors in 3 dimensions. vector A is having components of x I cap, a y j cap, a z k cap. Ax is the magnitude along x axis, I is the direction. Correct? Same way, vector B has got bx I cap, by j cap, then bz k cap. If I do dot product A dot B, if I do dot product in 3 dimensions, what I am going to do? I am just multiplying them as the things are. How I am going to multiply? I will just write AB cos theta, that is in terms of magnitude and direction. But when I am writing in terms of ijk, just I will write AX I cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap dot BX I cap plus BY j cap. I am going to rub that. Plus BZ k cap. Correct, no? Recently you have learned. What is that? From here I will continue. H, no? From here. A dot B, AX I cap dot BX I cap. I dot I will become what? I dot I AX I dot I cap dot BX I cap. I dot I is 1, so you will get AX BX. What is that? You will get AX BX. Next, AX I cap dot BY j cap. AX I cap dot BY j cap. I dot j is 0. This part becomes 0. I dot k 0. So AX I cap dot BZ k cap becomes 0. Here AY j cap into BX I cap. J dot I becomes 0. This part becomes 0. Here, this will be J dot J will become 1 unit vector. So AY into BY plus AY into BY. Same thing happens AZ k cap into BZ k cap. K cap, observe k cap and AZ. K cap and I cap dot if you make it becomes 0. Previously I showed. So only the remaining will be AZ BZ. AZ BZ. Correct now? AZ BZ. So this is the dot product of A dot B in this case. AX plus BX along x axis, AY plus BY. So if you equate this equal to what? AB cos theta. What you are going to get? If you equate this equal to, what is that? This is what? Mod of A into mod of B into cos theta. Correct now? Yes or no? Or I can directly write this one as, I can write AB cos theta will be equal to their components AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. I can write A dot B is AB cos theta. Correct now? So AB cos theta, or else if you want to find the angle between two vectors, if you know their components, where A is what? I can write this one as AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ divided by A into B. Correct? Huh? Still if you want more conclusion on this, I can write cos theta is equal to AX BX plus AY BY plus AZ BZ. Correct? Huh? AZ BZ divided by what is that? What is that? AB means how much? Root of AX square plus AY square plus AZ square. If I want to write completely in terms of AX and BX, A is equal to magnitude of A is ax square plus ay square plus az square into bx square plus by square plus bz. These are some of the property in your material. Very nicely has given. You can go through this. So this is about dot product. This is about dot product. Now if I want to give certain examples, I am going to give certain examples. Correct enough? This much property is enough for you to know. While solving numericals, you will understand things. More than enough if you know this much. Examples of dot product. Two examples I can give. What is that? Examples of dot product. See here. Dot product example. One thing you know. If you product any two vectors, you have to get the quantity, scalar quantity. So, any scalar quantity formula will be a dot product, we can say generally. The possibility of any scalar quantity which has got any formula for scalar quantity, that formula might be having dot product. That is how we have to recognize. Till now we have studied work done is equal to force into displacement. Correct now? Work done is equal to Fs cos theta you have studied. Like this you have studied. Correct now? F into D or F into S, Fs cos theta you have studied. Now, if a given formula is dot product or vector product, how to know? Correct? How to know? Here, see here. How I am thinking that this is a dot product? It is not a cross product. If you ask me, F is a vector, displacement is vector. If I am multiplying two vectors, what is the quantity I am getting? The quantity I am getting is scalar quantity. So 100% this product has to be, what is that? Dot product. F dot S is the best example. Work done is a scalar quantity. I am making the product of two vectors. I am getting scalar quantity. So this is the best example. Fs cos theta. Same thing happens. Force is equal to, power is equal to force into velocity. Force into velocity, if you make, force is a vector, velocity is a vector. So power is scalar, this becomes F dot V. F dot, what is that? F dot V means, you can still write, what is that? This formula as P is equal to Fv cos theta. P is equal to, I am there, in that case I am multiplying the force and velocity in same direction. That is the meaning. Here displacement and force are in same direction. Force is a vector, displacement is a vector. Both are in same direction. These are some of the examples of dot product. Slowly we will saturately we will try to understand. This is about dot product. Let's move on to the cross product. Cross product. Correct now? So, till now we have studied a dot product rule. Let us study about cross product rule. See, I will take one plane. To analyze this, I require a little bit with that imagination for you guys also. I am taking one plane. Correct now? Since this, I will take two vectors which are in this plane. Let us take vector A. This is vector B. Both are lying in this plane. Correct now? Both are lying in this plane. So here, A cross B. Let us take, let C is equal to, vector C is equal to A cross B. So wherever I write A cross B, that means that is vector C. Correct now? Here, A cross B is given by, not let us take vector C or something, let me write. Here, A cross B, what it defines, is given by magnitude, or I will write, here, the magnitude of vector A cross B. The magnitude of vector A cross B is given by magnitude of A, magnitude of B, and sine of the angle between them. What is that? And sine of the angle between them. Angle between two vectors, correct? the magnitude of those vectors, or the magnitude of vector AB, the magnitude value of vector AB can be written as AB sin theta. Its magnitude value, Y means, or A cross B, the vector cross product of two vector is given by AB. AB sin theta is the magnitude, n cap is the direction. This is the formula for, this is the rule. What is that rule? The cross product of two vectors will give you a vector. This is the rule made. In vector chapter, the rule made is what? The cross product of two vectors will give you another vector which is having direction n cap. Correct now? So, what is the direction of n cap if you ask me? It will be perpendicular to both vectors A and B. Are you understanding? The direction of n vector will be perpendicular to both vectors A and B. Try to understand. Sir, whether it is upward or downward, how to say? N cap direction of A cross B vector, here cross product of two vectors is if you make a product of two vectors cross product, you will get the final vector as final quantity as vector quantity. Final quantity as vector quantity. So n cap direction of n cap is direction of vector A cross B. And it is given by Thum's rule. It is given by what? Thum's rule. When I say A cross B, correct now? Thum's rule. What is this thumb rule says? See here. Imagine all the fingers are rotating like this. So only I can rotate these fingers in this direction. If you try to rotate these fingers in opposite to this direction, my hand is going to break. So the rule is going to break. I can rotate all these four fingers only in this direction. Correct now? You see here? I can rotate in this direction. I cannot rotate like this. I cannot. Can I rotate like this? No. So the direction. So I keep like this. Whatever the direction I am rotating, for this direction of rotation, thumb is the direction, upward direction. Correct? No? See here. Now I will take this A cross B. A cross B. When I say A cross B, this will be the direction. Correct? No? If I imagine this is the plane. A cross B, where is my thumb direction? It is upward. This is A cross B. If I tell this will be A cross B, direction will be here, upward. Are you understanding? So, B cross A, correct now? B cross A, if I say B cross A, if I say this is B, this is A. If I say this is B, this is A. If I say B cross A, the direction is becoming downward. Minus n cap. Are you able to see? Minus n cap. If I do B cross A. If I do A cross B, direction is upward. This is the direction of A cross B. If I do B cross A minus n cap, this is B cross A. Direction of B cross A will be downward. Are you understanding? Minus n cap. So it do not obey commutative law, first thing. That is different, later will come. But this is how I am giving the direction, using thumbs rule. Vector A cross B means I will take my fingers from A to B and I will rotate like this. A to B I am rotating like this. The thumb indicates the direction of A cross B. If I am doing B cross A, I will take my 4 fingers and I will rotate from B to A, B cross A. The direction is downwards, though the A cross B direction, B cross A direction will be downward. Are you understanding this? So, this is about vector. What is that? So, two things you have learned. In dot product, if you make two vectors, if you make the multiplication of two vectors, you were getting scalar quantity. Here, if you make a dot product of two vectors, you are getting what? Vector quantity. Correct? If you make. That is one thing. What exactly is a dot product? I will explain this. What exactly is a dot product? So, here only I will explain. These are every statement is important. I will try to explain it. This is correct. No? See here. Let us take two vectors. Let us worry only about the magnitude. Magnitude. Correct? No? Let us take this is A. This is vector A. This is vector B. Correct? No? AB sin theta means, see here. If I resolve this B into two components, one is what? Perpendicular to B, perpendicular to A and parallel to A. So this if I take theta, this vector for B component will be B cos theta. This will be B sin theta. Correct? No? Now this is A. This is A. Correct? Now vector A. Now I made two components. So here AB sin theta, AB sin theta, that is mod of A cross B, magnitude of A cross B is what? AB sin theta. B sin theta to A. So I will multiply one vector which is having B sin theta, another vector which is A, magnitude A, both are perpendicular. When I multiply like this, you are going to get the formula like this. I have taken two vectors. One vector is A like this, another vector is B like this. Both are perpendicular, B sin theta. So, both are perpendicular. When I multiply these two perpendicular vectors, one is B sin theta, one is A, when they are having the angle between them is theta. Both magnitudes. So, this is A cross B, magnitude of A cross B. So, if there is a situation of multiplication of two vectors when they are perpendicular to each other, that situation will come. I will give you an example. If there is a situation of multiplication of two vectors which are perpendicular to them, the value of those two vectors is AB sin theta. Correct now? Magnitude value will be AB sin theta. You can resolve this into another case also. This is one case. Another case, let me show you. What is that? This is B. Now this is A, vector A. This is theta. Correct now? I will resolve this A into two components. One is perpendicular to B, one is parallel to B. When I say parallel to B, the component of this, I resolve this vector A into two components. One is parallel to B, perpendicular. This will be A cos theta and this will be A sin theta. Correct now? Here if you observe, I am taking one, what is that? Vector B is like this. Correct? Huh? Here A B sin theta was like this was like this. So what is the formula? A cross B, magnitude value is here AB sin theta. Magnitude value remains same. Direction is there means it is not going to change. BA sin theta. BA sin theta means value again it is AB sin theta only. Value I am taking. Value. So magnitude value remains same. A cross B will be equal to B cross A. Their magnitudes are same. But they are not same because they are vectors. One direction is opposite to other direction. Here I showed you. Because the direction I am using the thumbs rule. When I am applying thumbs rule, A cross B will be upward, B cross B will be downward. Magnitude of A cross B and B cross A remains same. Correct now? Here vector B is like this and vector A sin theta is like this. If I multiply two vectors which are perpendicular, this is the rule. So what is that rule I say? Rule says that A cross B rule says that if your two key points I can tell, when you are multiplying two vectors which are perpendicular to each other, correct now? That is one thing. Here, what is that rule? You are multiplying the vectors which are perpendicular to each other. Second thing, the product of those two vectors will be again a vector quantity. These two key points you have to remember in product rule. What are those? I am going to write it. What are those? I am going to rub this. Correct now? This is for your understanding. This is for your understanding. Two key points I give, not for examination purpose. To understand what is cross product rule. This rule is, what is that? Product of vectors is the first point. Cross product of two vectors gives what? Vector quantity. It gives a vector quantity. Second one, what is that? Cross product of two vectors gives the vector quantity. Second one, it is a product of two perpendicular vectors. Whatever the angle between the vectors may be, you will take the one of the component which is perpendicular to other component, then you are going to multiply it. One component to other component you will take perpendicular, then you are going to multiply those vectors. That is the magnitude value of cross product. Correct now? So these two key points, if you remember, cross product rule, dot product rule, nothing is there. These are the rules we made because we want to multiply vector quantities in physics. That is why I wrote the heading rule. These are the rules. Correct now? Which we have made. So direction you have understood. These things you have understood. Let us move on to the properties of this dot product. So this is the formula in terms of vector quantity. N cap direction I have shown. This is how the direction is given I have said. This is the magnitude value. Correct now? Okay guys. Let's move on to properties of cross product. First property, here cross product is non or anti-commutative. Non or anti-commutative. I can write like this. What it now? Non or anti-commutative, which means that A cross B is not equal to B cross A. Correct now? A cross B vector can be equal to minus of B cross A. Minus of B cross A. This is one important result. Got it? Minus of B cross A. Then, what is that? Magnitude might be equal. This is first property. Second, cross product obeys distributive law. Distributive law. What is that distributive law says? A cross B plus vector C can be written as A cross B plus A cross C. See, it is applicable distributive law only in this case. Like if they are in same order, all the vectors are in same order, it is applicable. So it can be possible that it obeys distributive law. Got it now? 1 minute. Then, what is that? The magnitude of cross product of two perpendicular vectors is maximum when? Correct now? When the cross product, the value of cross product or the magnitude of cross product. I will run this third property. What is that? It says magnitude of cross product is maximum. It happens, can you tell me when theta is equal to 90 degree. Correct? Na? The magnitude of cross product is 1 when theta is equal to 90 degree. We know that A cross B mod AB sin theta. So theta is equal to 90 degree means AB sin 90. So this will become just A into B. So the mod of A cross B will be maximum value is product of those two vectors. Correct now? That will be A into B if theta is 90 degree. The cross product of two vectors is minimum this is C, no? This is the D. Cross product of two vectors is minimum. When theta, I will write that, is minimum. I am talking about magnitude. This is CD. One minute, eh? Is minimum when theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. When two vectors make a 0 degree or 180 degree, whether any perpendicular component are there to one another, there is no possibility. In this case, A cross B will be equal to AB sin theta, which will be equal to AB sin 0 or sin 180 or AB sin 180. For both of them, cross AB will be equal to 0. Magnitude of two vectors which are parallel, their cross product will be equal to 0. Two vectors cross product is 0, two vectors dot product is maximum. Two vectors which are parallel, their cross product is 0. Two vectors which are parallel, their dot product is maximum. Two perpendicular vectors, their cross product is maximum. Two perpendicular vectors, those dot product is minimum. 0. Dot product cross product. So that means I already wrote what is that? Product of making two perpendicular vectors is nothing but cross product. Product of making two parallel vectors is nothing but dot product. The dot product of two vectors will give you scalar quantity. The dot product of the cross product of two vectors will give you vector quantity. If these two things, if you remember for everything, things are finished. You will find the logic to find out. Correct? You will find the logic. So this is one property. Next, cross product of unit vectors. Let us find cross product of unit vectors. Okay. Cross product of unit A, B, C, D, E. Cross product of unit vectors. So here, let us find the cross product of two unit vectors. Let us take two vectors. I cap and j cap are
are lying in this plane, what I have drawn, and z cap, that is k cap, is making perpendicular to both of this plane. Correct? No? See, this is I j cap, this is I cap, this is k cap. Now, three of these axes are mutually perpendicular to each other. Yes or no? I and j are perpendicular to each other. K is perpendicular to j and I. Correct? No? I and j are staying in the same plane, but they are perpendicular to each other. This is what 3D dimensions we call. Correct? No? Here, cross product. See here. If I apply direction, first thing, magnitude of cross product of two vectors will be 1 into 1. How to find the directions? Correct? No? How to find the direction? It will be 1. Magnitude value will be 1. Cos, what is that? Sin 90 will be 1. I want to find the total value. Correct? No? The magnitude of I cross j, if I make magnitude value, the angle between these two I and j is how much? 1 into sin 90. So it will be equal to 1 or 3. Magnitude. If I want to find the direction, I cross j will become what? K. Correct now? I cross j. This is I cross j. Correct now? Look at the thumb. Thumb is upward. So the magnitude value is this much. So always I cross j, its direction will be along k cap. Are you understanding? I cross j. Correct now? I cross j. The direction will be upward. Same thing. What is that? Second, you see, carefully you see. J cross K. This is J, this is K. So J cross K. My hands, 4 fingers are coming from J cross K. Where is the thumb direction? Thumb direction is towards I cap. Thumb direction is J cross K. Thumb direction is towards I cap. So I can write magnitude value is 1 always for everything. For everything, magnitude value is 1. I am giving the direction. I cross j will become k and j cross k will become what? I. So I can write j cap cross I cap will become j cap cross k cap will become I. Get that? Let us talk about k cap cross I cap. K cap cross I cap. K cap cross I cap means, what is that? K cross I. This is K, this is I. Where is my thumb? It is towards J. It is towards J because I am taking K cross A. Correct now? K cross A. Or you take like this is K, this is I. K cross I, my thumb is moving like this. K cross I. 3D image. K cross I, my thumb is moving like this. Correct now? So this will become J. So this is one thing. From commutative property. What is that? I cross j is equal to minus what is that? Minus j cross I. Correct now? So I cross j is k means from commutative property j cap cross I cap will become minus k cap. Are you understanding? J cross k is I cap means I can write k cap cross j cap will become what? Minus I cap. What is that? Will become I cap cross j cap is k cap means j cap cross I cap will become minus k cap. J cap cross k cap is equal to I cap means k cap cross j cap will become minus I cap. Same thing, k cross I is j cap means correct now? I cross k will become what? Minus j cap. These things it is very difficult to remember. I have found the logic and I have told you, I will tell you how to remember these things. I am going to tell you how to remember these things. The best way to remember these things is just remember these three. If you make opposite sign, the thing will be negative. remember these things. I cap, J cap, K. I cross J will give you K. I cross J will give you K. Correct? No? J cross, just write down I, J, K. My logic, this is my logic. What is that? I will write just I, J, K. I, J will give you K. Correct? No? J cross K will give you what? I again. Are you understanding? I cross J is giving you K. J cross K will give you I. Then K cross I will give you J. Correct? No? K cross I will give you J. This is how I will see it. I cross J, all things are given by I cross J, I cap cross J cap is giving you K cap. J cap cross I cap, sorry, J cap cross K cap is giving you I cap. K cap cross I cap is giving you J cap. Just I am remembering IJK. In IJK, these two cross product will give you K. K and I will give you J. J and K will give you I. They must be in same order, like this. Ij will give you K, Jk will give you I, then Ki will give you J, like that. Correct? Now, so if you separate or if you interchange, if I cross J is K cap, J cross I will become K cap. Correct? Now, these are some of, this is the logic to find. They will be in opposite side. I cross J cap means J cross I will become minus K. And these are some unit vectors. Then what happens to I cross I cap cross I cap? Sign 0. The angle between two vectors is 0. It will become 0. J cross J cap will become 0. K cross K cap is going to be 0. Correct? No? This is what the cross product. Very important properties these are. Whatever you are learning, they are very important. You have to understand these properties. Correct? No? This is about then another property in 3 dimensions. How to find cross products in 3 dimensions. Correct? Then if you want to find what is that? Cross product of n value. See here, if I can make another property. What is that? Direction of A cross B. Correct? No? Direction of A cross B. How can I give the direction of A cross B? First thing I showed you using thumbs rule. In terms of formula, A cross B is equal to what is that? AB sin theta. AB sin theta into n cap. AB sin theta refers to magnitude, n cap refers to direction of A cross B. So, n cap can be written as A cross B. What is that? AB sin theta. Or you can write AB sin theta. AB sin theta. Correct? Or you can write A cross B divided by mod of A cross B. What is mod of A cross B? AB sin theta. So last property, let us write cross product in 3 dimensions. How we are going to write? Last property, another property, cross product in 3 dimensions. If vector A is equal to A psi cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap and vector B BX psi cap, 1 minute, BX psi cap plus BY j cap BZ k cap, what is that? A cross B. A cross B. How to write A cross B? Let us write A cross B. So here A cross B will be equal to 1 minute. Stop very soon. A cross B will be equal to what? AX I cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap cross BX I cap by j cap plus bz k cap. Correct, huh? This is what. So this will be, now make the confusion. Correct, huh? A cross B. A cross ax I cap cross bx I cap. I cross I. The cross product of two parallel vectors 0. I cross I, this will become 0. Correct, huh? So this is 0. Then ax I cap cross by j cap. Ax, these are magnitude. I cross j. I cross j. So for the first case, ax I cap cross by j cap. It will become ax by I cross j will become k cap. Correct, now? From the properties, I cross j will become k cap. So plus, let me write this. Then ax I cap I cross j. Ax I cap cross bz k cap. Ax I cap cross bz k cap. So this will become plus ax bz. Ax bz. I cross k. I cross k. K cross I is j cap. After k, I again will come. I j k, I j k, I j k. Correct, no? After k again I is going to come. K cross I is j cap. Now I cross k will become minus j cap. So this will become minus j. Next plus. Let us come for b. Ay j cap into bx I cap. That will become ax ay bx. Correct, no? It will become ay bx. Now j cross I cross j is k, means j cross I will become minus k cap. Correct, now? Plus ay into by, j cross j it will become 0. J cross j will become 0. Ay into bz will become j cross k. J cap cross k cap will become I cap. Plus then az into bx, k cap cross I cap will become j cap. Then az into by plus az into by. Then what is that? Az into by, k cross j cap. K cross j cap will become what? J cross k will become I. So k cross j cap will become minus I cap. Very simple. Then az bz cross k cap cross bz k cap. So k cross k will become 0. This is plus 0. If you rearrange this into a cross b will be equal to what? Check once again. Make all these things one side. Correct, now? Take everything one side. Ay bz I cap minus this one's here. First look at these two terms. If I look at these two terms, I am getting one parametric situation, symmetric situation. Symmetric means some things will get common, or in a very ordered manner I am going to get one equation. Better than telling all this, I am going to get an equation in very specific, calculated or ordered manner. What is that? First I look of this I cap. I can write ay bz minus by az. Correct, na? Ay bz minus by, or let me write like this. Ay bz minus by az. Correct, na? Will be equal to this into I cap plus this into I cap plus, very important relation I am getting. Look at j. This is j minus j. This is plus j. There is plus j. If you look at this, az bx. Correct, no? Or wait. Here I cannot write this. I am going to rub this one. Correct, no? I am going to rub this. I am going to write here. Correct, no? See here. See here, from that I am going to get a cross b. will be equal to A cross B will be equal to, what is that? A cross B will be equal to first look at these two. If you look at these two, A cross B will be equal to, first look at those two things as I mentioned, AYBZ minus AZBY, correct now, into I cap plus, second look at J, this part and this part, you can write AZBX J cap, sorry, AXBZ minus, you will take minus AZBX minus AXBZ J cap plus, correct now? Plus 1 minute just, I will bring chalk. Here plus, observe this two. This is K cap one term, this is K cap another term. Here you will get AXBY minus, you take minus AYBX into K cap. Correct now? So this relation, you must know certain things. What is that determinant? I can write this relation, correct now? I can write this relation as, see here, there is some symmetry. When x-axis is there, there is no term of x-axis, correct now? So see here, this I can write A cross B will be equal to determinant of I cap cross J cap cross K cap, correct now? With the term, what is that? AX, AY, AZ, BX, BY, BZ. So this is the formula for A cross B. Correct now? This is the formula for A cross B. If two vectors are given, first write down IJK. Then how to find the determinant of this IJK, AX, Y is here. How to find? What you have to do is look at, this is one column, this is one column, this is another column. Put some negative signs such that they have to be alternate. Let us take this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. Correct now? How to find the determinant of this equation? Determinant, if you write directly, you can find this equation. This equation I have written in terms of determinant. What is that? This equation I have written. Now suppose this is the format of the determinant. IJK, AX, AY, AZ, second row, third row is BX, BY, BZ. Now the determinant of these things, will give you A cross B. You can check that. See, if two vectors are given their values in terms of IJK, immediately you can put determinant like this. By putting determinant, you can find A cross B. If you find putting determinant like this, if you find the value, it will be A cross B. Correct now? So let's check it here. How to find the determinant? Let us consider this is plus sign, this is minus sign, this is plus sign. So what I am going to do is, when I take first I will choose plus I cap. Plus I into this is minus, this is plus, correct? Plus I cap, if I choose, I am going to leave this row, this column, this row. I will multiply this minus this, correct? So this row, this column I am going to leave, this row I am going to leave for I. That means I will multiply these two alternates and these two alternates and will make the difference. AY into BZ, AY into BZ minus BY into or minus AZ into BY. Got it now? Plus I. Next put minus. minus j cap. Continuation it is. It is continuation. Minus j cap. Minus j cap. When I have taken minus j cap, first thing is I am putting signs plus minus plus for this ijk. Correct? This is the way to find method to find determinants. Correct? So now I will leave this row, this column. I will leave the middle row and the middle. First row and the middle column. If I leave that, I will cross multiply these two terms minus these two terms. Correct? So if I leave this column and this row for j, ax into bz minus az into bx, az into correct? Then plus k cap. I have taken plus k cap. Forget about this column, forget about this row. Ax into by minus ay into bx. This is k cap. Got it, no? This is k cap. If you rearrange this, what is that? Ay bz. Look at this term, look at this term. Ay bz minus az by I cap. Second one, az bx minus ax bz j cap. So here if you take a negative sign inside, you will get az bx minus ax bz. Correct? No? So this will be equal to what I can write last statement, the same statement I will. Ay into bz minus az into by plus into I cap plus az into bx minus ax into bz j cap plus ax into by minus ay into bx. Look at this expression, look at this expression. Both are same. So this is what this expression, algebraic expression, you know. If you know this expression, you can write in terms of determinant. If you know determinant, you can write in terms of equation. Got it? No? Both possibilities can be done. Both possibilities can be done. So this is the way to find, once I take numericals, you will understand. Examples of cross product, check it out. Example of cross product, if you want to give, if you were in classroom I would have showed very nicely, but anyhow I will give first one. What is that? Torque is equal to R cross F. Second one I can give angular momentum is given by R cross P. Linear momentum, correct? R cross linear momentum. Suppose a body is rotating about an axis. Correct? Think that one body is rotating about an axis. Let's say one point mass m is rotating about an axis. Having a distance vector, this is r vector from the origin to towards the point. This is the radius vector. If this is the force, correct now? You join them. If I join this R here, R cross F will become, this is the torque that. This is also vector, this is also vector. Force is perpendicular to R. They are in same plane. This will be perpendicular to R and F. This torque will be perpendicular to R and F. Correct now? Now here, to find the angle between them, join the head of the two vectors or tails of the two vectors. F vector tail and R vector tail, you join them. You will get R cross F, torque will be upward. R cross F, torque will be upward. Correct now? Same thing. This is the case for first formula. Second formula also same thing. Instead of force, let us assume the particle is having linear momentum. The particle is having linear momentum like this. Correct now? So the R cross P will give you the direction of angular momentum. 1 is vector quantity, r is also vector quantity, radius vector. The product of those two vectors which are perpendicular to each other will be third vector. Here in rotation, this cross product is useful more. Correct now? Anyhow, you study on that. This is one of the best application part. Another thing, to find the area of surface. Correct now? You can use this to find the area of surface in vector form. Correct now? To find the area of surface in vector form. Area of triangle, comma, rectangle, etc. You can find the area. This is another use, I can say, application. For example, area of triangle, but we have not learned area of triangle and rectangle in vector form, so I couldn't tell that. In your already material, some diagram is being given, you will get an idea. Correct now? If you take two vectors A cross B, the direction of the area vector, area is sometimes considered as scalar, sometimes it is considered as vector. Whenever it is required, I am going to tell this. Anyhow, the material is given, no way useful right now for you. When it is required, I am going to tell. Okay, this is about cross product and dot product. If I solve some numerical, you will get an idea on this.